From WFRV TV Local 5, your local election headquarters, this is Newsmaker Sunday with your host, Tom Zaleski.
Good morning. Welcome to Newsmaker Sunday. I'm Tom Zaleski. Saving for retirement is a lifelong process for many of us, but many have had to dip into their savings during this pandemic. We are honored today to be joined by Wisconsin State Treasurer Sarah Godlewski, who is working with the Retirement Security Task Force to help strengthen protections. Sarah, honored to have you with us this morning. Welcome back to the show. Before we get into the task force that you're chairing, tell us, please, you have such a mysterious job there. We all know the title State Treasurer, but we don't quite know what the State Treasurer does. What do you do?
No, it's a great question, Tom, and good to be here. I really like to bucket the responsibilities of the state treasurer into three groups. The first is we serve as a chief investor. We chair the Common School Trust Funds, which are $1.2 billion funds that provide money to buy books and technology for all of our public schools across the state, and making sure that portfolio is performing. The second bucket goes into economic security, making sure that hardworking Wisconsinites have an ability to get ahead and stay ahead, whether that is our work with the Retirement Security Task Force, to also looking at student loan debt and home ownership. And then the last bucket is serving as your fiscal watchdog. And we've been really active as we look at how the CARES Act money and how we can advocate for resources, make sure tax dollars are spent wisely. But I could go on for a long time, Tom. I mean, the state treasurer is written into the Constitution for a reason. It's important to have checks and balances, but those are ultimately kind of the top three responsibilities that we do day in and day out for the people of Wisconsin.
And now, on top of all that, you are chairing the Retirement Security Task Force. What is it? Why is it so important? What does it do?
Well, this is very appropriate, Tom, because we actually announced the Retirement Security Task Force right in Green Bay. And I remember talking with people about just the problem at hand. I mean, if we would literally do nothing in the state of Wisconsin, we would see over 400,000 seniors in poverty in our state by 2030. I mean, these are our neighbors, our friends, our parents that would be in poverty. And while it's the right thing to do, by just simply, again, doing nothing, that would be an additional cost to the state. We're looking at over $3 billion by 2030, because we would have to step up and cover costs like the homestead credits, heating costs, food assistance, additional Social Security. And so we need to look at how we can do this in a cost-effective way, because it's not only the right thing to do, it's the fiscally responsible thing to do.
You know, Sarah, we know that 60% of Americans either borrowed or they withdrew from their retirement accounts during COVID-19. How does that impact somebody's retirement account in the long term?
Well, it's a good question, Tom. And I remember when we were taking a step back and thinking through how is this going to impact our recommendations with the Retirement Security Task Force. And we actually wrote in one of our recommendations is we have built in an emergency savings feature in whether it's for state employees or for the kind of small business proposal that we have for retirement. Because when you start taking your funds out early, you're actually risking and not able to really benefit from compound interest. And so when 60% of Wisconsinites, or not only Wisconsinites, Americans were taking out of their retirement, that puts them behind. And when I was talking to folks about why they were using their retirement account, a lot of times what they were telling me is because it's literally the only savings account that they had. And they were just really grateful that they had this account to weather the storm. And so that's why we built in one of our recommendations, an emergency savings feature. So at the same time, while you're able to save money, you can put a little bit of savings into this special account, so you're not actually getting after the principal of your retirement, which is what we need to build that long-term savings.
So if somebody is thinking about dipping into their funds to cover an expense or whatever, what would you recommend as far as other avenues that they could try first before dipping into that fund?
I mean, what we always talk about first and foremost is just the need to have a savings account. I mean, when you look at retirement security today, it's a complicated system. I mean, you need not just one, not just two, but they advise 3 sources of income to be able to retire after a lifetime of hard work. We know that's Social Security, which people can't live off of $1,400 a month. We also know it is access to an employer plan, which almost 1 million Wisconsinites don't have access to an employer plan. And then the third leg of that stool, that third income stream, is savings. And people can start savings at any time. I mean, whether they are, and saving even a little bit adds up over a long period of time. So I think there's other options to look at, whether it is using your savings account or potentially thinking through how to restructure some of your finances, refinancing your home or refinancing a car, but there's a lot of different options. I think what we were really looking at with our task force and specifically in talking to other Wisconsinites is how can we set them up for success, knowing that this is a complicated system and an emergency might pop up at any time.
Our guest is Sarah Godlewski, Wisconsin State Treasurer, and we are back with much more right after this.